Jai Gange. My name is Ganga Nandani, and I'm joining you from Paramatma-Niketan Rishikesh, from the banks of Ma Ganga, from the lap of the Himalayas, and from the sacred land of Rishikesh, which is known as the yoga capital of the world. And today we are here to start this week's journey with yoga. To start our morning for many of you who are joining us from India, for those who are joining us from different parts of the world, perhaps maybe even to end your day. The point is, whether you start your day or end your day, yoga is the way. And so today, when we begin our day, let us begin with the most precious gift we have, which is our breath, our breathing. How many times in the day do you really bring your awareness to your breath? And yet, without the breath, we wouldn't be able to survive. Out of the many ways that we get energy, from food, from water, from sleep, from exercise, from sunlight, we get energy from so many different ways. And yet, without the breath, so like without food, you could survive for a few days. Without water, maybe 1 or 2 days. Without sleep, a few days. But without the breath, a few seconds. And so it's really important to really utilize our practice to bring our awareness to the breath. Because the breath is like the key. It's like you put the key in the lock and it unlocks the pathway to the soul, to the divine. Because you think about it, who is the one who is making the breath happen? I mean, sure, when I say, okay, take a deep breath in and then let it go, you're able to do that. But on its own, the breath is going. What is that power that keeps the breath going? That's the divine. There is some divine, not necessarily up there, we keep saying up there, but some divine presence, energy, consciousness that pervades all of creation and that brings life into us. And the breath is that fire that brings life to all, to us, and to the entire of creation. And so let us take a moment to start our morning with our breath. If you're not able to sit cross-legged, for some reason you're not able to sit cross-legged, you can sit with your feet like this in chair and practice this pranayama with us like this as well. So whatever is possible for you, join us in our pranayama session. So the very first thing I would recommend is let's just close our eyes and bring our right hand to our heart, our left hand to our belly, and take a deep breath in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more time, breathing in and feeling the belly rise. And then on that count of 3 or on that count of 4, exhaling and feeling the belly compress. One more time, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. And just keeping your eyes closed, releasing the hands, bringing them down to your knees, keeping the palms down. And just stay present with the breath. Notice that the breath is like the waves of the ocean, the waves of the river Ganga, flowing in and out, in and out. And even though each breath is different, life is that continuous spectrum. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Open the eyes. And the next breath we'll practice. In the morning, especially these days, we have a lot of sinus clogging. And so it feels like it would be really great to decongest the sinuses. And so one of the beautiful pranayams that we practice in our yoga classes at Parmar is called Kapalabhati. And Kapalabhati actually means, Kapala means the forehead. And it means the shining forehead. So actually the prefrontal cortex is actually what makes us human. Have you ever thought about that? This part of our brain is the most developed for all human beings. And it is this part of the brain that gets stimulated through Kapalabhati. I know that Kapalabhati, many of you think about just as an exercise that you're pulling your stomach in and you're pulling your abdomen in, but that it's like CPR, where you do CPR and you bring life into a being. It's like that for the stomach, because the gut, cleaning the intestine is one of the most beautiful ways to detox the body. And pranayama is the key to do that. And Kapalabhati is the magic formula. So in Kapalabhati, as you exhale, it's a short, quick exhale. Each time you exhale, your stomach and abdomen is coming in. So we're going to go do Kapalabhati together. Keep your eyes open, or you can close your eyes, whatever works for you. Exhale, release, relax. And just for a moment, close your eyes and notice any changes in the breath, any sensations in the body. Just tune in to what is happening in the body. What sensation, what change has this breath created in the body? How are we feeling? Take a deep breath in and let it go. Generally, most people, when I ask them how they're feeling, and you can share it in the chat box, people feel more energized, increased energy, increased prana, increased ability to take a breath in and exhale. These are all benefits of Kapalabhati. Let us do a variation of Kapalabhati, single nostril Kapalabhati. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to do a mudra. It's a form of the hand. Each of the fingers symbolizes one of the elements of the earth, fire, water. So we won't have time today to do all of the deciphering of the mudra. But take your right hand and bring your hands into forward like this. Lift the last two fingers, your fourth finger and your pinky finger. And this is your pranayama mudra. This is what we call pranava mudra. So we're going to take the thumb of the right hand, place it on the right nostril. And as you exhale out Kapalabhati, bring the stomach and the abdomen in. Yes? So Kapalabhati from the left nostril. Each time you exhale, you can lift your thumb so that the inhale, which is passive, can happen through both nostrils. Yes? So again, keeping your left hand on your belly, right hand on the right nostril, Kapalabhati. Exhale, release, relax. And again, just for a few moments, notice any changes in the breath, any sensations in the body. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it go. Open the eyes. I'm going to do the right nostril this time. So we take our right hand, our pranava mudra, take the fourth finger and the pinky of the right hand and place it on the left nostril. And this time as you exhale, exhale from the right, and in between the exhales you can lift the fourth finger and the pinky so that the inhale, which is passive, happens through both nostrils. Again, placing it on the left nostril, Kapalabhati. Exhale, release, relax. And just for a few moments, notice any changes in the breath and the sensations in the body. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Kapalabhati isn't just a pranayama, it's a cleansing practice. It's also known as a kriya, and it helps cleanse the body. So the next practice we're going to do is alternate nostril Kapalabhati. So we take our pranava mudra, our right hand. Our right hand is connected to the heart. It helps purify our blood. It helps take out the toxins of the body. So in that way, we take our right hand, place the right thumb of the right hand on the right nostril, exhale from the left, hold down the left and exhale out from the right. Okay. Together. Each time you exhale, make sure you bring the stomach in. Exhale, release, relax. And again, check in with the breath, with the body. Notice any changes in the breath, any sensations in the body. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Next breath we'll practice is Bhastrika. And Bhastrika is also an energizing breath. Yes. In Bhastrika, we're going to have a deep, forceful, conscious inhale and a deep, forceful, conscious exhale. So the breath is like this. Yeah, from the throat. We practice it from the throat. So it really helps clear our Vishuddhi chakra. It helps clear our throat. Because there is a way of just practicing it from here, which is and that has its benefits. But from here, it also has incredible benefits. So let's practice from the throat, but with our hands as well. So we're going to bring our hands out forward, bring our hands into either side of the chest, and use the Bhastrika breath to bring energy to the body, to bring a greater sense of prana into the body. So bringing our hands out forward. Five more times. Exhale, release. Just for a moment, close your eyes. Notice any changes in the breath, any sensations in the body. Should feel like you're sinking into a greater sense of awareness, and a greater sense of energy and prana, life force in the body. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Open. We're going to bring our hands one on top of the other. Notice that my palms are just on top of my hands, one on top of the other. My elbows are in line with my shoulders. And we're going to practice Bhastrika, bringing our hands out. Yes? So again, forceful, conscious inhale and exhale. Five more times. Rest your hands on your knees, close your eyes. Bring your awareness to the breath. Again, just check in with the body, check in with the breath. Notice any sensations in the body. Notice any sensations, any changes to the breath. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Open the eyes. Last variation of Bhastrika that we'll practice is with our hands going up into the sky and then exhaling down with our hands. So up and down, up and down, okay? And the breath will be the same. So exhale, release, relax. Again, notice any changes in the breath, any sensations in the body. Deep breath in and slowly let it go. Sinking into the breath. Relishing the breath. Relishing this moment. Almost like you're in a hot water bath. Just relaxing and resting into your being. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, open your eyes. You know, to bring energy into the body, we use coffee and we use chai and we feel like, our afternoon chai ke bina kaam nahi chalega. We often say like, without my espresso, without my coffee, I'm not even feeling fully alive. And it's such a tragedy because we have the power of our breath. We have pranayama, which is readily available to us at any given time to energize the body. It is our ability to actually bring in prana. And the beautiful thing is, it's like when you drive a car. Yeah, when you want to slow down the car or you want to stop the car and you're driving at really fast pace, right? And so your car is going really fast and you're going really fast and you want to slow down before you stop the car. Because if you stop the car and you're driving really fast, what happens, right? The car actually comes into a halt and it actually brings the back of the car up. And so it's not a safe stop. And therefore, pranayama, why I use that analogy of the car accelerating, is that's the mind. Our mind is in such a momentum, it's on all day long and we utilize our mind all day long. And what happens is that we don't know that the mind is a tool. It's a tool that we should control. And usually what's the situation is we are controlled by the mind. We think we are the mind. And pranayama is that key that we have. Prana, breath, is that key that we have. Life force is that key that we have to decelerate the mind and eventually to get ready for a stillness into which meditation happens. We often think about meditation as something we need to do, but it actually isn't something we need to do. It's something we need to become. It's a meditative nature that we need to become more efficient in using the mind and the body as a tool, as an instrument to move in the world. And so, again, to just bring it back into this practice is use these pranayams to decelerate the momentum of the mind so that you can become eligible, become able to experience meditation. And of course, even to sit in the pranayam, to sit in cross-legged, we need some loosening practices. We need some asanas, because for most of us, to sit cross-legged for a long period of time is difficult. I mean, here at the ashram, Puja Swamiji, Puja Sadhiji, they're always sitting cross-legged. It's a regular practice. But for most of us who are in a 9-to-5 job, it's not a regular practice. It is very difficult. And so tomorrow we'll be going over loosening practices and the asanas. But today, the art of pranayam. These are some of the pranayams that would be really wonderful for you to come into class tomorrow, to join the session, having practice tomorrow. Yes? So we did Kapalabhati, which was a pranayam and a kriya. We did Bastrika, and we did several variations of both of those breaths. Both of them are energizing breaths. Yes, they add energy, they add fire into the body, right? And then what we need in the summertime, which is a really, really beneficial breath, is what we call Shitali and Shitkari pranayam. And why I'm saying both of them, they're two separate pranayams, but they have a similar cooling effect on the body. And in the summertime, it's the best thing to do. So, Shitali pranayam is actually where you take your tongue and you make a tube with the tongue. Yes, and you make a tube with the tongue and you breathe in through that tube. Yes, long deep inhale and then close the mouth and exhale through the nose. Yes? Now, for many of us, it's very difficult to roll the tongue into a tube formation and to keep the mouth like that, yeah? So, Shitkari is a similar pranayam in which we are clenching the teeth and breathing in through the teeth, closing the mouth, and then exhaling through the nose. So I'm going to practice Shitkari, and I will encourage you to choose either one, Shitali or Shitkari, whatever works for you, and clenching your teeth together. At least I'm doing that. If you want to roll your tongue, you can roll your tongue. Breathe in. So you breathe in through the mouth, close the mouth, and exhale out through the nose. It's very conscious, very slow, and very aware. So let's practice 3 more times together. Either breath is fine. Taking a deep breath through the mouth, closing the mouth, and exhaling through the nose. It's a cooling breath. Each of the pranayams have their own characteristics. Kapalabhati and Vastika bring fire, bring Agni into the body, have an energizing effect. Shitali, Shitkari have a cooling effect. And in the summertime, especially as we get more and more heat, practice this breath at any time of the day, and you'll have this cooling effect. The other thing in Kapalabhati and Bhastrika is it's better to practice on an empty stomach. Because imagine if you're pulling your abdomen in Kapalabhati especially, you want to make sure you have an empty stomach. And if you don't have an empty stomach and you're practicing pranayama, at least 2.5, but try to make it 3 or 4 hours gap between the last time you had a meal, so that your stomach is really able to function and really able to be that pump that detoxes the body. Yes? So last breath we'll practice today is called Ujjayi breath, Ujjayi Pranayama. And Ujjayi means the victorious breath. Yes, it's the victory breath. And in Ujjayi, what we're doing is we're breathing in slowly and we're slowly exhaling out. Yeah? And it's like if you imagine, you're like as children, we used to fog up our glasses and we're just like that, yeah? And we fog up the glass. So imagine it's that same sound in the throat, but closing the mouth. So there's a little bit of a constriction here at the bottom of the epiglottis. And if you don't know what that means, no problem. It's just slight constriction here. So we're going to practice Ujjayi breathing, where we're deeply breathing in and slowly breathing out. Three more Ujjayi breaths. Deep, slow inhale. And slow, sweet exhale. Two more times. And Ujjayi breathing is also available to you at any time of the day. You can practice it. It's known as the victory breath. It will help you bring that awareness to the present moment. And when you practice the breath, when you practice the victory breath, you are able to bring your mind into a state of stillness immediately. So for example, if you're really angry about something and you want to just react and tell that person off, for example, Ujjayi. Yes? So Ujjayi is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful practice that you should practice any time of the day. And it's one of those beautiful pranayams that we'll bring into our asana practice just to bring a greater sense of mindfulness and meditativeness to our asana. So practice Ujjayi on your own throughout the day, and practice these pranayams before we join for class tomorrow, before we join for our session tomorrow, because we're going to go straight into the loosening practices, and we're going to go straight into Surya Namaskar tomorrow, and have a incredibly beautiful day, have an incredibly beautiful week, and we send you so much love from the banks of Marganga, from Paramatma, from the sacred land of Rishikesh. Jai Ganga.